Nissan, the month of Aries. Nissan is made up of the word Nes, miracles. And we're going to be talking about the greatest miracle of all, of being taken out of bondage into freedom, and all of the signs and wonders and miracles that are performed along that way, and the order to that process. Hey is the letter for the month. Hey. It's more like an out breath. Hey. And so it's a letter and a sound that's also part of every letter and every word, permeates everything. It's part of the four-letter name of God, Yud Hey Vav Hey. Haya, Hoveh, V'Hiyeh, what was, is, and will be. Havaya, our experience. And Yehuda, Judah, is the tribe of the month. Last full moon in Pisces, we celebrated Purim, and we read the story of Queen Esther. And in that storytelling, God's name is not mentioned. There's a hiddenness about it. And then the month later, when we celebrate Passover and Pesach, then it's really all about Hashem, about God, about the source, about the creator of all. And it's very explicit. It is through signs and wonders and miracles to come out of that level and depth of pain and suffering and oppression and abuse and toxicity. It can't be through a messenger or an angel or any other divine being besides for the one source itself. All the story of the Exodus, Yetziat Mitzrayim, coming out of Mitzrayim, from narrowness, from our suffering. And the night that we celebrate this on the full moon is called Leil HaSeder, the night we read from the Hagadah that is in a specific order. Kadesh, Orchatz, Karpas, Yachatz, Magid, Rachza, Motzi, Matzah, Maror, Korech, Shulchan, Orech, Safun, Barech, Halel, Nirtzah. In organic intelligence, we often speak about building context, building the nest so that organization and biological synchrony just happens. Part of the context in the Hagadah is when we take these verses from Devarim, from Deuteronomy, as the basis of the retelling of the Exodus. And it's not explicitly mentioned there, but the context of those verses that are taken are what a farmer who is bringing his first fruits to the temple would say, who has already established himself in the land, has a connection to the land, has planted and cultivated the land, and is now bringing his first fruits. And it's from this place, from this resource, that we go into the retelling and the remembering of the Exodus. Matzah is the unleavened bread that we eat. It's not like normal bread. There's no yeast inside, and so it doesn't rise. There's no ego in it. And on Pesach, Passover, there's this return to the simplicity. Early on in the Seder, or early on in our life journey, matzah is broken, which is symbolic of the inevitable disillusionment that we go through in life. That broken piece is then hidden as the afikoman, which we will come back to later on in the Seder, after we go through the storytelling and the singing and the asking questions and eating good food. We come back to the afikoman. Anyone who's been through a disillusionment process knows that disillusionment and lessons in humility go hand in hand. And so on the Seder night, there's an opportunity to embody and eat those lessons of humility. Later, after a yummy dinner, we are now ready for dessert, afikoman, which is that broken piece that the children go and find, that hidden broken piece, and we are now ready to receive the gifts of that disillusionment, to taste the sweetness of that. Order, it's called safun, And Safon or Safon can also mean north, like that north star, that energy that is pulling you forward into our evolution and growth that's also inevitable. And that part of that process is that disillusionment, and then the humbling that we go through, and then the gifts that come from that process, the sweetness of true freedom. So we eat maror, these bitter herbs or this bitter root, and when we actually chew into it and eat it and taste it and connect it to it through our senses, through our taste buds, through the sensations that we feel, it can actually open us up, opening up the nasal passages and the mouth, the eyes watering. Connect to bitterness purely through the senses, through tasting, versus the bitterness that we experience as a feeling, as a resentment, as a suffering, as a fixation. This is freedom. This is the true miracle. To be taken out of our suffering, to be taken out of our bitterness, of our resentment and our grudges, to be taken out of the fixation of wishing and hoping that the past could have played out any differently to how it has. As we know, after the Israelites are taken out of Egypt and are wandering in the desert, that even after experiencing and witnessing all of these miracles and signs and wonders, and even after mass revelation at Mount Sinai, it wasn't quite enough for them to actually bridge that gap into true inherent trust. You can't really expect that from them because they are coming out of a system of slavery. All they've ever known is that system of oppression, and so expectedly they project that onto a relationship with an all-powerful God. They just don't know any different, and their biology has some catching up to do. This is why my work in organic intelligence is so precious to me, not just for my own individual journey, but also in the journey of accompanying others on their organic intelligence trajectory, because I really believe that it provides the roadmap to help bridge that gap into deeper, felt sense, inherent, basic trust and relationship with Source, with the oneness that we all are. It's resyncing our biology into a state of Ruach HaKodesh and a merging of our will with the divine will. Meaning, life becomes more fun and pleasurable, the pleasure of being and existing, and that direct relationship with all that is. If you're interested in a 30-minute free consult, please feel free to reach out to me. We can discuss more about organic intelligence and how it can help you, and see if we're a good match to work together. Thank you for listening to this video, and have a blessed day.